Hey everyone, I'm Brian and welcome to your virtual coffee shop brought to you by Aromacup.com. Thanks for watching with us here today. And we're going to have a little fun today with the Bosch Tassimo T45 Suprema single serve coffee maker. We're going to show you how to make a cappuccino. Cool thing about these machines is that you can make regular coffee, you can also make a lot of specialty coffee drinks, and I think that's one of the really cool things about these machines is that you actually get a lot of different drink options, and it's really quick, it's easy, and rarely do you have to even open any containers. So let's show you how we can make a cappuccino using this machine. Now the first thing that I should mention is that the Tassimo T-discs, which you're probably going to be familiar with from some of our other reviews, those are going to come in a lot of different formulas and types. We've got some espresso T-discs here, and then we have our milk T-discs. Now the milk T-disc is what you're going to use for doing an entirely T-disc cappuccino. So this will mean that we're going to make the cappuccino using only T-discs. Now you're going to notice I had two different kinds here. I have a cappuccino and I have a latte. Now these are pretty much the same. They look the same size and things like that. However, one of the major differences between these is that their barcodes are going to be different. And based on the different barcode, the T45 is going to read that barcode and it's going to know that for a cappuccino latte T-disc, it shouldn't add as much water to this because a cappuccino, let's remember, typically does not have as much liquid as, let's say, a latte. The milk is less ample in a cappuccino. So that's a very important thing for me to mention about these. They look very much the same, but they're actually different. So that said, let's go ahead and make an all T-disc cappuccino. So we're going to just use the T-disc. And then after we do that, I'll show you a cool thing that I like to do that makes use of the Tassimo as well as one of my favorite tools here in our virtual coffee shop. So the first thing that I'm going to do is open up the brew basket on my T45 and I'm going to pick out one of my espresso T-discs. I'll grab one of these guys here. I'm going to pop it into the T45, lock it down. The button is glowing green now, it's ready to go. I just need to put in one of my mugs. So let's go ahead and grab this guy right here. So it's a little bit big as you can see. So we're going to take out our tray, slides right out, put our cup in, and now I'm just going to hit the green button. So again, the T45 with the barcode reading system, it's going to read the barcode that is on that espresso T-disc that I put inside of it, and now it knows how much water it should add to the T-disc, the temperature that that water should be at, and also it's going to add a little bit of air, and what that's going to do is give me a little bit of a crema on top of this espresso shot. And that's one of the things that I think is very cool about this machine is the fact that even though it's an automatic machine, I'm able to get an espresso shot out of it that's very much like some other very expensive espresso machines that I've made use of in the past. So we want to make sure and let the machine finish its process. And the reason for that is that all the pressure that it has going on inside of it right now is very important for the mixing of this espresso shot. So make sure that you let your machine finish up its mixing process. You don't want to open up that brew basket while this light is still glowing green because you're going to interrupt the brewing process. So when this is all done and we've brewed all of our coffee, the machine is going to go into manual mode and it's going to allow us to add more water to the mix. I'm going to go ahead and bypass that because again, we're doing an all T-disc cappuccino here. We're letting the machine do all the thinking. Remember, we want to do all these things quick, fast. It's a single serve machine. We want to get in, get it done, and go. So now I'm going to grab my cappuccino milk creamer and I'm going to drop this guy into the Tassimo. Close this up, and as said this before in other videos, you want to make sure you have a cup under there before you close up the brew basket on the milk because it leaks a little bit. So make sure you do that so you don't waste any, and press your big silver button. Machine's going to go ahead and it's going to read the barcode, and now it knows that because we're brewing a cappuccino, it's going to add a little more air and less water to this milk creamer. So I already have a little more foam than what I get if I'm using a latte milk creamer tea disc. So again, this is really cool. The machine knows all of this because it's pre-programmed not only into the machine, but also into the tea disc. So this is essentially about as automatic a cappuccino as I could get, but it's not made from anything fake. There's no powders or anything weird like that here. And I don't know about you, but fake coffee is not one of my favorite things. So, again, let the machine finish up its process. It'll keep blinking green here, but it's got to finish up its pressurizing. And of course, when it's done, if you want to add a little more water to this and vary on the strength of the drink, you can do that by using the manual mode on the machine. But I'm going to go ahead and bypass that today. So there we go. That's a cappuccino, and we've got a pretty, a little bit of foam going on right here. This isn't as much foam as you get using usually one of my favorite toys here in our virtual coffee shop, and that's what we're going to move on and talk about right now. A cappuccino is really well known for having a good amount of foam, and you don't have to have a lot, and you can vary how much foam you have, but that takes me to one of my favorite toys, the Nespresso Aeroccino right here. The Aeroccino is really awesome because it allows you to froth your own milk and get a lot of the foam that you come to expect from most specialty coffee drinks. So let's do a cappuccino again, but instead of doing it with the all tea disc method, we're going to use just the espresso for this cappuccino that we're going to make. So I'm going to pop open my brew basket, take out my spent cappuccino milk tea disc, and I'm going to select another espresso tea disc, take this guy, pop it into the brew basket, close it up. Now let's go ahead and grab another mug. We'll place this guy right here. And before I start brewing, I'm going to go ahead and fill up my Aeroccino with some milk. Now, when I open up the Aeroccino, I've mentioned this before, but there's two different whisk types which come with the Aeroccino. You've got this one for more milk, and then you have your metallic whisk for a little less milk but more foam. We're going to go ahead and use that. That means that when we add our milk, we're not going to add too much. We're going to go just a little bit near to this max line that's on the inside of the Aeroccino. So let's go ahead and add our milk. And once we've done that, we're going to cap off the Aeroccino, and I'm going to go ahead and let it start doing its thing first. All I've got to do is press the button on the front, and the whisk starts spinning around. It's magnet driven, so it's super quiet. That's one of the things I think is really cool. Let that do its thing. Let's move back over to the T45, and we're going to start brewing our espresso shot. So I got two machines going at once right now. That's the thing I think is really cool right now, is that when the espresso is done, I'm not going to have to wait for something else to finish. So while these guys are doing their job, let me of course mention Aromacup.com. Check us out, sign up for a free account, join our forums, talk with other coffee lovers, read reviews about machines like the T45 and other great single-serve gourmet coffee machines, find some coupons and get a lot of other great information. We offer that all to you for free at Aromacup.com. So again, the T45 is brewing. It knows that I'm doing an espresso shot, so it's adding very little water, good amount of air, keeping the temperature nice and hot, and brewing a good, strong espresso shot right here. Of course, let the machine finish up its process because there is a lot of pressure going on inside of there. You can see my Aeroccino is already done. The light on the front of the Aeroccino has already stopped glowing red, which means that it's finished. And the Bosch is just about done, and there we go. It's glowing green on the manual mode. I can pull out my espresso shot. Now I'm going to pop the lid off of my Aeroccino. There we go. I've got some foam going on already, and that's exactly what I am looking for. So I've got a spoon handy, and I'm going to use that to go ahead and separate the milk from my foam a little bit, because that lets me really get a real cappuccino style drink going on. Because a cappuccino, as I've mentioned before, is a drink of thirds. 1/3 coffee, 1/3 milk, 1/3 foam. So you want to make sure that you get that going on if you want to have the real coffee shop experience. So I really like that. You can see the layering going on. That to me is what I really like to get out of a good cappuccino. And I've also got that nice white foam on the top. So those are two methods. Obviously, it's up to you and what you like to do. Both of these methods are very fast, and that's one of the great things about this machine is that you can do either of these drinks really fast and then get out the door, and that's what we're all about here in your virtual coffee shop from Aromacup.com is speed and great coffee. As always, thanks for watching. Keep in touch with us at Aromacup.com. Sign up for a free account. Check out our forums. Check out our other videos. Thanks for watching Aromacup.com. I'm Brian, and I'll see you guys again soon.
Visit Aromacup.com, the world's leading single-serve coffee guide. Join our forums, talk with other coffee lovers, find coupons and reviews on great single-serve gourmet coffee machines, coffee capsules, and more great information, all available at Aromacup.com.